welcome to this video. Thank you so much for clicking. I am so glad you are here. I'm so glad you're watching. I feel like it's been so long since I've recorded a video, and I really don't I feel like I'm kind of out of the swing of things. So I'm trying to jump back into it with some research. Although this is not my research specifically, it's somebody else's research, but I wanted to bring it here, and I wanted to bring it to the attention of anyone who's interested, just because I find it very I feel like it's very informational, very informative. See, ooh. I feel like I got a lot of information out of it, even though so I feel like other people will get information out of it, if that makes any sense at all. I hear my baby crying, so she's probably going to have to be in this video. Yep, let me go get her. All right, so for the sake of not being awkward, this is baby Adele, and she has a little fuzzy. Say hi. Hi. Almost 3 months old. She'll be 3 months old on the 20th. Hi. Hello. Hi. Yeah. Oh. Say hello, YouTubers. Thank you for clicking on these videos. All right. So let's just start with the story, because you really have no idea what I'm talking about. All you know is that I'm going to tell you about somebody else's research. If I'm looking down, it's because I have bullet points here that I want to remember certain points of the story. So this person contacts me through my Facebook page. Not through my Facebook group, but through my Facebook page. And this person asks me to help them in doing their research. They explained to me that they're doing a research paper for their university and that they are wanting my help in this research. So I asked them, I asked them, like, what kind of research? And so they specifically start talking about hCG values and how women in the cryptic pregnancy community report having little to no hCG, and how could that be? So I simply explained to him that many women have reported getting negative urine and blood tests even well into their pregnancy and up until delivery. And I've even shared with him the story of my friend who I met in nursing school, who reported that she actually tested negative. She got pregnant in the 80s and she tested negative. And the doctor, she went into the doctor, and her doctor did not believe that she was pregnant because she tested negative in her urine test and in her blood test. And she had to actually convince the doctor to give her a vaginal exam. And long story short, he realized that she was pregnant and her pregnancy was confirmed. She herself reports and remembers that her baby was 3 weeks overdue, and that her baby girl was born vaginally and breech. So I decided to share her contact information. I asked her for her permission, and I shared her contact information with him, because this was a story that I knew hands-on. This is a person that I knew personally. It wasn't just a story that I read on the internet. Some woman saying that she didn't test positive in urine or blood all the way up into delivery. I mean, that's pretty unique for that to happen. Hold on. She's hungry. Okay. So yeah. So I asked for her permission, and then I sent, her contact information to him so that he could contact her himself and try to verify details of her story. When she didn't respond back to him when he wanted her to, he then harassed me for 2 days. It was really unnecessary. After I told him that I couldn't make her respond, nor was I obligated to help him at all, he quickly changed his tune, and because he told me that my paper's almost due, and I really need to get this information and this and that, and if your friend doesn't respond to me in so and so time, then I'm not going to be able to get my paper in. And I basically told him, there's nothing I can do. I can't make her respond to you. I can't make her give you details. All I can tell you is that she told me this information. So I also informed him that both a urine pregnancy test and a blood quantitative pregnancy test should be done together in order to rule out or confirm a viable pregnancy. So some women will test positive in a urine test, but they won't test positive in a blood test. And then some women have reported not testing positive in a blood test, but testing positive in a urine test. And then some women have reported testing negative in both tests, no matter what, but they will actually be pregnant. So I informed him of this information, that there is something called phantom hCG, so that there are women out there who get positive pregnancy tests and are not actually pregnant. They have more than they have more than the value of 5 hCG present in their blood system for many different reasons. And so they can actually, on some really sensitive tests, they're able to get a positive result. And, I informed him of all this information. He then proceeded to make several accusations about me, about what he claims I said to women regarding hCG values in pregnancy. So I had to correct him in saying that I have reported that women have recalled that they test negative in blood and urine, even well into the pregnancy or pregnancies. Some women, this happens to them every single time they get pregnant. They are not able to confirm the pregnancy until well into the pregnancy, because that's how long it takes for the hCG values to get that high. Or some women are not able to confirm their pregnancy just because there's no hCG in their system at all. And this happens in multiple pregnancies. This happens to them, several times. So by the third time they get pregnant, they pretty much know the drill, that they're not going to get a positive pregnancy test until they're like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 weeks pregnant. Some women report that they don't get a positive pregnancy test until they're like 6 months pregnant. That's 24 weeks. That's like so intense to me, to not have a positive come up on a pregnancy test until you're almost 6 months, or until you are 6 months pregnant. It's very intriguing. So I told him that this is just what women report, and I'm just saying that this is what women have said. There is no study out there to look up or verify that a pregnancy has progressed healthily with little to no hCG, meaning a value less than 5. So yeah, I do want to read some of the messages that he included, so I will do that now. Mr. Noone writes, I know cryptic pregnancy is real. All the doctors even know that, but not in the way some of your YouTube videos suggests. Cryptic pregnancy is a pregnancy where the woman doesn't know that she's pregnant after 20 weeks or even until the delivery. Gestation mostly be normal gestation. Home and quantitative blood tests came negative until 2.5 months, but this pregnancy can be diagnosed. Mr. Noone also writes, I am giving proofs that fetus cannot survive with extremely low hCG, but you were unable to give proof that fetus can live with extremely low hCG. If you could provide even one valid proof that fetus could live with extremely low hCG, I'm going to stop my OBGYN course, and I will believe that I am a failure. Mr. Noone also writes, do you know how dangerous it is to tell wrong information about a thing like this? You are telling that you know everything, so I believe you are human trafficking. I know you know the role of hCG and how important hCG is to maintain the corpus lectum, and how corpus lectum helps you to grow the fetus. I believe you won't tell that a baby won't grow without hCG. Mr. Noone also wrote, you told baby could grow without hCG. It is possible to test low than 5 even at 13 weeks of gestation. So those were some of the messages. I decided to skip the embarrassing harassment that ensued for several days on Mr. Noone's part, just because it was just a bunch of misunderstanding on what he thought I was doing and my intentions behind the education that I put forth on my videos on this channel and in my group and on my page. It's just, you know, obviously he needs to do more research. So by any means, what I'm saying here in this video itself is definitely not the set in stone information. This is just somebody else's take on doing hCG research and the information that they've found when it comes to a woman having a pregnancy with little to no hCG. So let's go. I want to read to you what he sent to me. I think it was a month and a half, 2 months, something like that. It was at least a month later after he, you know, harassed me for 2 days. It was a month later that he decided to, was like, oh, okay, this is my conclusion. This is what I've decided. So let's go ahead and read that. So yeah. Mr. Noone writes, Dear, I have finished my research. From my research, cryptic pregnancy is real, where the woman is unaware that she was pregnant. In my research, until week 10, it is possible to get negative pregnancy tests because of slow rising hCG in blood tests. But it could not be lower than 5, maybe 6 or 7 or higher than that. If the hCG is more than or equal to 25, it will be positive in the qualitative hCG blood test, and most women didn't follow instructions when taking a home pregnancy test. Moreover, it is difficult to get a positive home pregnancy test in a cryptic pregnancy during the first 2 months. Moreover, from this research, very rarely is it possible for mistaking a fetus for something else during the first 2 months in ultrasounds because of the shape of the uterus. But after that, if the ultrasounds are done by a professional, they would see a baby. So the method for detecting cryptic pregnancies is to first take a home pregnancy test, and if it is negative, then go and ask your general practitioner for a quantitative hCG beta blood test and check for even slight increase until 12 weeks. If it is rising even at very slow rate, then it is time for taking an ultrasound. If it is not rising, the girl is not pregnant at all, and mostly ultrasounds will detect the fetus. If it is done by a not blinded eye, and about the gestation, no fetus survived for more than 13 months. Even it is difficult to survive for 11 months. Maybe a stone baby may grow for 3 to 7 years. Baby growth will be slow growing than the perfect rate. But even at normal pregnancies, there are some fetus which grow slowly. Cryptic babies can't be slower than them. If there is anything you are confusing or not agreeing in the above statement, please ask. I have full proof. Cryptic pregnancy is real, but not in a way Google or some women's are saying. Their intention is to make some women's mentally ill. Quantitative beta hCG blood tests and ultrasounds can detect cryptic pregnancy. So, what does that all mean? This person, Mr. Noone, this alias, with no profile picture and using not a real name. I can't even give him credit because he didn't give me his real name. But this person says that it is possible to get a negative pregnancy test because of slow rising hCG in blood tests, according to his research. He also goes on to say that it is difficult to get a positive home pregnancy test in a cryptic pregnancy during the first 2 months. This is something else that he's found in his research, as well as, and I've said this several times throughout all my videos, that because of the shape of the uterus, it is possible to miss or mistaken a baby for something else in the first 2 months of pregnancy. So if you are anywhere from 4 weeks to 12 weeks in my experience, but he says up until 2 months, anywhere from, 4 weeks until 8 weeks, that it is possible to miss the baby completely, not see it, or mistaking it for something else, a different organ or something, when it's that small. But after 2 months, he says a baby would be seen. It would be there. It's big enough and it's unique enough in all of its miraculousness, that after 2 months, after 8 weeks, in my personal opinion, after 12 weeks, the baby will be seen. If you get an ultrasound after you think you are 12 weeks pregnant, 13 weeks pregnant, if you get an ultrasound at that time, your baby will be seen. And if it's not seen, then it's most likely not there. But anyways, he goes on to explain his method. This person, this alias, Mr. Noone, says that his method for detecting a cryptic pregnancy is as follows. He recommends to first take a home pregnancy test, and if that comes back negative, then ask your general practitioner for a quantitative beta hCG test, blood test, and begin checking for even a slight increase. If you get your blood drawn and you wait 2 days or 4 days, it should have, you want to look at least for even a slight increase until 12 weeks gestation. If it is rising, even slightly, even at a very, very, very slow rate, then he recommends that you go in for an ultrasound. He also says that if it is not rising, then the girl is not pregnant at all, which I completely disagree with. 100%. I do not recommend, nor do I ever say to 100% rely on hCG values in order to ultimately confirm, for that information to ultimately confirm or deny your pregnancy. Never, 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 never. In fact, all I've said throughout this entire channel is that many women report having little to no hCG during cryptic pregnancies, and many women report having little to no hCG in their system during even just a regular standard pregnancy. It doesn't even have to be a cryptic pregnancy. So, like I said, I do not agree with that statement. The statement that says, he says that if the girl's hCG is not rising even slightly or at all, then the girl is not pregnant, and that's not true. Many women have reported that they've had no hCG in their system and they were very much pregnant. And it's flabbergasted, and it's completely amazed their doctors, and a lot of them had no explanation. You can find a lot of verification of what I'm saying even on YouTube. If you just Google pregnant with negative tests, there's lots of women who openly talk about how they tested over and over and over and over again and got negative and negative and negative tests when they were actually pregnant. So I just want to make sure that I let everybody know that I disagree with that statement, that if you have no hCG in your system, or if your hCG is not rising, that you are not pregnant. That is not true. You can very much be pregnant with no hCG in your system, according to the information that I've gathered online and in real life, and just in general, just doing pregnancy research, doing pregnancy test research. So that is all. I just wanted to bring forth another person's research on hCG and the importance of hCG in a viable and confirmed pregnancy or unconfirmed pregnancy. You know, there's, like I've said in several videos over and over and over again, there's no actual study on this. And so any information that I can get from any other resource, I'm going to grab hold of, and I'm going to, present to you guys. I'm going to give you this information, and you do with it what you will. But what I do have to say is that this person, Mr. Noone, this alias, told me that he wrote a research paper on this, and gave this to his professor, and him and his professor were actually talking about the possibility of having a pregnancy with little to no hCG, And it was getting his professor and other people in his university really thinking, and their mind, you know, really ticking away. And that's great. And I'm so happy to, you know, inspire somebody else to do more research into things like this, because I really feel like the information is out there. It's just waiting to be found. There are women out there who are willing to do small little, not experiments, but small little studies on them. If you know, there's women out there who are testing negative and they're like well into their pregnancy, and I'm pretty sure that a majority of these women would have no problem being part of a study or trying to understand further how their pregnancy is possible with little to no hCG. So hopefully, you know, prayers in the future that something like this, a study like this, does happen. But like I said, nothing that this person is saying is actually set in stone. It's all just theory. It's all just, you know, it's all just based off of what other people have reported to me, you know, subjective material. And I think it's important, and I think that this information should be shared. So I hope you got some good information out of this. I hope you learned something a little bit. Please share this information. I think it's quite important, especially in the trying to conceive community and women who are trying to have a baby and trying to get pregnant. Knowing this information and having this information could probably save so many women a lot of heartache, a lot of confusion. And so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave me a comment below. Maybe consider subscribing. And if you like this video, please give it a like. All right, so I guess I will see you guys later. I hope you are having a great day. Again, thank you so much for watching. Stay blessed, friends. Be well. Bye.
Hi, if you're looking for more information on cryptic pregnancy, phantom pregnancy, or any kind of pregnancy experience, please visit my Facebook group, my Facebook page, as well as my Instagram account. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.